Coach, now preparation starts for opening night. What was the focus like of practice today, and what were you able to do with the guys?
Locking back into our defensive focus. I think that was the big key of today. Understanding where we need to be positionally, getting back to our staples the right way. Defensively was the main defense was the main focus today.
What was your biggest takeaway from the other night? Maybe your fourth preseason game where guys got extended minutes. Just what did you see on film?
I really did like our ability to push the basketball. Our pace was very good. I think defensively we got to continue to get better, getting back in transition, finishing out possessions, those little small details. But that one big takeaway was our sprint game, our ability to run and share the basketball.
You mentioned the defensive work today. You've talked about conditioning the pass and the offensive flow. Just where do you feel like your team is the furthest along? A week or less than a week away now from opening night.
I really do believe, I think our conditioning is getting up to par. I think where we need to be from there, we still got some steps to take, but I'm going to keep harping on the fact that these guys are just really trusting and sharing the basketball and trusting each other.
Early in the season, conditioning is obviously an issue as compared to later in the year. How taxing can that be, and how much of a figuring out period can that create as you're trying to play a little different and at the same time build up that conditioning level?
I think you build it because I go back to our guys and we talk about our strength is our depth. So our guys are going to play to a level of fatigue, and then you have a next group coming in ready to go. So I think that's going to be what we hang our hat on, along with the defensive end, is that our depth is going to be a major strength for us.
We've talked about Mo and Jalen a ton, but how was this preseason for Mo? Obviously, he's further behind Jalen, but what has this whole process been like for him?
He's been great. I told you he's been in the huddle a ton of times in our practices, coaching these guys, talking, communicating, and still putting his work in to make sure he gets on track for what he needs to do.
You've already kind of created the identity when people come to Orlando, other teams, they know it's going to be a tough night, offensively for them based off the defense. Can that become even tougher if they know you're going to be playing fast on one end and playing stout defense on another?
Well, we talked about this last time, and I think the big thing is we have to be able to do both. And I'll keep reiterating, the strength is our depth, and our guys' ability to come into the game and be able to defend the right way and still push the pace that same way.
You mentioned that depth. Just what did Colin Castleton show you throughout this preseason and training camp?
He's been a big-time pro. Just professional every single day when he walked in the building. His work ethic, his attitude, his demeanor, his approach to the game, and he fits the level of physicality that we play with, being able to play and guard multiple positions.
How good is it to be able to tell a guy that he's earned a two-way contract?
I think it's a great feeling. You talk about each guy's journey and the way they get to the league, one way or the other. I think being able to let a guy know that he's put in that work in order to achieve a step towards his dream is big.
Thanks, Wes.
Good deal.
Appreciate it.
Colin, reports have suggested you'll be the final two-way guy for the Magic. To have that opportunity, how exciting is it for you?
It's awesome. Just really excited for the opportunity. Just thankful for the organization giving me the chance, coming in on Exhibit 10, and then just being converted to a two-way. So I'm just really blessed for the opportunity and just excited to go into the season with it.
You've spent time with this organization last year and in the past. Just how familiar are you with the Magic, and what do you make of the way they run things and the process through this whole preseason?
Yeah, I was with Osceola last year for a little bit, so I was around all the guys, saw everything they were capable of and how good of a year they had going into this offseason. They made some additions and, got a couple pieces that are going to really help the team this year. I think it's a lot of young guys, a lot of guys who are vocal, communicate well, and just really fast, up-tempo. So a lot of guys with energy, and just I think this year is going to be really good. So.
You've played in the NBA before with the Lakers, the Raptors last year in the past. Just what are you hoping to get out of this experience as a two-way player, and what do you think you can offer this team in that role?
Yeah, just like you said, being 2 years in now, just understanding everything day in and day out, continue to be a pro every single day. Whether I'm with Osceola or up with the Magic, just being myself, being confident, and just being a good teammate, a good vocal guy who helps everybody else out. And then if they need me, being available and being ready.
I remember we talked last year on Osceola about the fact that you're from DeLand, you went to Florida. Just how cool is it that you're able to be part of the Magic a little bit longer?
Yeah, it's awesome. Honestly, just it's really just a blessing. Like, I'm just grateful for this opportunity. My family's super excited. Everybody who follows me. There's a lot of Gator fans in Central Florida, and just really excited to be pretty much home. So you can't really beat that, and just I'm excited for the season and anything they need me to do. So
obviously you're 6'10", 6'11", a center. Just what do you think you can provide on the court for the team, Mike?
Just versatility. Guy who, like I said, communicates, brings really hard energy. So anytime I'm on the court, I'm going to give 110%. I'm going to go after every rebound. I'm going to try to block shots and just set really good screens. So I'm just doing all the dirty work and find myself within the team, whatever role that may be. But I'm excited. So.
How did you find out, and what was the reaction like?
Yesterday, actually, they called me afternoon. I was kind of just at my apartment kind of waiting it out because this is like the time of the year you got to figure things out. So just was waiting it out, and they reached out to me and told me, we're going to sign you tomorrow, come to practice. So I was like, shoot, I'll be there first thing. So, yeah, I was super excited, but just thankful for everything, honestly.
When you have a situation like this where Coach Dillon's, in the building and doing that, and with it, when you have to go back and forth a little bit as you do with the two-way, how helpful is that to kind of already have familiarity with both systems?
Yeah, it's great. Just being able to know, basically half of everybody who's in here. So coming into training camp, I knew a lot of people already, knew familiar faces, and the people I didn't know, I got to know right away. So just being able to know everybody already definitely, helped me going into training camp. But I think having those 2 years under my belt and bouncing around just helps me, walk into any building with confidence. And I think being here is a great opportunity for me and a good fit. So,
good deal.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.